Ciao Fabri, welcome back in our
Ciao guys.
podcast. We are in November, so the January transfer window is getting closer, and we start talking about some of the strategies of the clubs and some of the also after the results of the weekend. Let's start from Liverpool because another defeat for Arne Slot. So, what's the situation? What's the trust of the club on the manager?
Yeah, nothing has changed for Liverpool in terms of trust for Arne Slot. We are receiving many questions, but we released a podcast here on Men in Blazers a few days ago clarifying that Arne Slot is considered absolutely the right man to fix this situation, and Liverpool maintain this feeling. So Liverpool are not planning for any change. Of course, losing 5 of the last 6 Premier League games is not in Liverpool style, is not in Liverpool expectations, but at the same time, Liverpool maintain their trust in the manager. They believe that the situation can be sorted. As we discussed here a few days ago, it's really important to mention that Liverpool signed several players in the summer transfer window, and so to adapt and to get ready for this system is something different, and so it's going to take some time, plus the injuries for Frimpong, for Isak and more. So there are several situations to fix, but Liverpool remain convinced about Arne Slot's skills to help this situation, to change this situation, and for sure they maintain their position to back and support the manager.
Talking about Benjamin Sesko right now and his injury, what's the situation and what's the club feeling about that injury?
Yeah, while we are recording this podcast, we are still waiting for an official statement from Manchester United, but my understanding is that the injury from Benjamin Sesko is not a super serious injury. So it's not an injury that is going to take, 6, 7, 8 months to see Benjamin Sesko available on the pitch again. Well, let's wait for the final test made by Manchester United, the medical staff, so we wait for an official statement. But the initial feeling after the injury from Manchester United staff at the moment is quite positive. So it's not going to be a super serious or long one. It's going to take some time, but it's not going to be a super long one. And so that's a positive news for Manchester United, of course, and also could have an impact on the January transfer window because Ruben Amorim after the game said, let's see about the injury of Benjamin Sesko. Maybe if it's a serious one in January, we might have to do something in that position. But at the moment, again, it doesn't look like an ACL injury, so a super long one.
Touching on this point, can Man United also think to recall a player like Rasmus Hojlund back at the club?
Yeah, there have been some rumors in England about this, about the opportunity to have a recall clause in the contract of Rasmus Hojlund. There is no recall clause included in the agreement with Napoli. And also there is no expectation at all for Manchester United to go back and bring back Rasmus Hojlund at the club. Hojlund is a Napoli player, will be a Napoli player for present, and my information is also for future. So the expectation is to make the deal permanent, for Manchester United to receive a 50 million euros package between loan fee and permanent transfer of Rasmus Hojlund. So that's the expectation, and also the player is not considering anything with Manchester United at this point. Hojlund feels as a Napoli player and nothing has changed about that.
A player who can leave Manchester United in January is Joshua Zirkzee. Yes or no?
Yeah, we have to follow the situation closely in the next weeks because the calls have started. First was West Ham, now also Roma have made some calls to understand the situation of Joshua Zirkzee. So the market is moving around the Dutch striker. Again, let's see what happens with Sesko, because now with the Sesko injury, again, it's not a super serious one, probably. Let's wait for Manchester United statement. But obviously, when you have a player like Sesko injured, there is still the opportunity to have a player like Zirkzee who can cover several positions as number 9, as number 10. Ruben Amorim, according to my sources, never wanted to let Kobbie Mainoo and Joshua Zirkzee leave because he believes that also Zirkzee can cover several positions and can be very important. Then there is the World Cup. Obviously, the player wants to play on a regular basis, so let's see how this conversation, Zirkzee, his camp and Man United will go. But for sure, this is going to be an interesting situation to follow in the upcoming weeks.
Let's stay in Manchester. Let's now talk about Man City. Is there a specific position, a specific role they're planning to move in the January transfer window?
Yeah, at the moment it's important to mention that City are very happy with the squad they have. So Man City are very happy with what they are doing. The results have been very good so far. We can feel a different energy in a positive way for Manchester City with the new director Hugo Viana, with Pep Guardiola still delivering with a different style now at Manchester City. In terms of transfers for 2026, we will see whether it's going to be January or summer transfer window, but Man City are keeping close eye to two positions. The first one is the right back. So Man City could still do something in the right back position. Again, let's see if it's going to be January or summer. And then the winger, because to add one more winger to the squad is also a possibility. I think it's more likely to see that kind of movement in the summer rather than January, but there will be movements at Manchester City in 2026, and I think these two positions will be important to follow.
Talking about 2026, there are a lot of rumors about Upamecano and Real Madrid and a possible agreement. What do you say on that?
Yeah, rumors coming from France about a verbal agreement done between the Upamecano and Real Madrid, but my information is that at the moment Upamecano has not agreed terms with any club. So everything is absolutely open. There is interest from Paris Saint-Germain, there is interest from Real Madrid as well, interest from England. So many clubs have called for Upamecano, but don't forget Bayern. Bayern are still fighting to extend his contract. Bayern will meet with his agents again very soon to keep discussing details of this new contract. There have been already 3 meetings in the recent months between Upamecano agents and Bayern, and this conversation will continue. So Bayern are really trying their best. Bayern are involving Vincent Kompany in the conversation, obviously doing fantastic as a manager, but he was a great centre-back, and Bayern believe one of the reasons why Upamecano started performing really well is also that he had a very good connection immediately with Vincent Kompany. So they are trying their best financially and on a technical point of view in terms of selling the project to give Upamecano what he wants. So there is an active conversation. Let's see. Real Madrid are there for sure, not only them, Paris Saint-Germain and more clubs in England, but Bayern are still trying.
2026, what can we expect from the future of Sandro Tonali?
We had many questions also about this because it's always a big topic in Italian press, and so Newcastle fans, and not only, also in Premier League, more fans want to know what happens with Tonali. First of all, nothing is going to happen in January, so the January window is not going to be a window with any movement for a player like Sandro Tonali. Newcastle consider him as untouchable, so nothing is going to happen. The contract extension, it's important to clarify, there was a rumor around about Tonali signing a new contract at Newcastle. It's not a new contract signed now. Tonali accepted to extend his contract while he was banned at the beginning of his Newcastle chapter in 2023, but nothing really changed in terms of contract situation at the moment with Newcastle. Tonali has been very honest. When asked about his future, he said, I can't promise anything. I don't want to say I will stay here forever. We will see what happens in the future. At the moment, I'm happy here. And that's the reality. Tonali is only focused on Newcastle. Tonali is not moving in January. In the summer, we will see, but for sure he should take big money in order to make a move happen, and it's not going to be easy.
And what about Robert Lewandowski? Because in the past days, there were a lot of rumors about a possible exit also in January.
Yeah, in January nothing is going to happen. Lewandowski returned in a fantastic way for Barcelona against Celta Vigo, an hat-trick, and so Lewandowski is showing his value once again. But apart from that hat-trick, Lewandowski has never been planning to leave Barcelona in the January window, and for Barcelona he remains an important player for this season for sure. So nothing is going to change in January. Lewandowski will complete the season at Barcelona despite rumors on Milan move, and then in the summer we will see. In the summer, I keep saying, as I already mentioned here on our podcast of Men in Blazers, my information is that Lewandowski has very good chances to leave Barcelona in the summer. That's a really concrete possibility, a really serious possibility. So I expect Lewandowski and Barcelona to part ways in the summer transfer window, but at the moment there is still no official communication between them. Lewandowski didn't tell Barcelona you want to go, and Barca didn't tell Lewandowski you have to go in the summer. So the situation remains still calm, but the feeling is they will part ways in the summer, probably yes. In January, no chance.
Last one for today. Do you see Jadon Sancho leaving as a free agent in the summer?
Yes, because he's now on loan at Aston Villa, but apart from this, Man United have an option to extend his contract for further season till 2027, but at the moment the indications are for Manchester United to accept defeat with Jadon Sancho. That signing was not working at all, and so to let him go probably on a free rather than having the player in this kind of situation, so staying at the club maybe for one more season on a very big salary, very important contract. So that's probably the destination of the deal for the future of Jadon Sancho. For sure, he's not going to be a Manchester United player anymore in the near future because, again, he's on loan at Villa, but apart from that, Man United consider closed the chapter of Jadon Sancho in red, and so I don't see any way back for Jadon Sancho.
Thank you, Fabri, for today. Talk to you soon here on Men in Blazers.
Thank you. Ciao, guys.